Over 5,000 farmers reached New Delhi's Jantar Mantar on Monday, more than 8 months after they ended their year-long stir after withdrawal of 3 farm laws. Wielding banners and flags and shouting slogans, the protesters broke through barricades to reach the Mahapanchayat site. Other than North India, farmers from states such as Karnataka, Maharashtra, Odisha, and Kerala arrived in Delhi to protest against what they said were unfulfilled promises of the government. Farmers are demanding a legal guarantee for minimum support price or MSP based on the recommendations of the Swaminathan Committee. The panel had suggested a minimum support price that is at least 50% more than the actual cost of farming, including the price of seeds, fertilizers, hired labor, family workers' own compensation, and land rent. Monday's protests were called by a breakaway faction of the Samyukt Kisan Morcha, an umbrella body of farmer unions which had spearheaded the year-long agitation in Delhi. The protesters called themselves SKM Apolitical. They also sought a waiver of farm loans and demanded the withdrawal of Electricity Amendment Bill 2022, which the farmers fear will put an end to subsidies. After being introduced in Lok Sabha on August 8th, the bill was sent to a parliamentary standing committee for review. Union Power Minister R.K. Singh has assured that the provisions of the bill do not affect farmers and that states can give any amount of subsidy, even free power, to any category of consumers. Apart from this, the protesting farmers demanded a hike in sugarcane MSP, scrapping of the Agnipath scheme, release of jailed farmers, and a speedy trial in the Lakhimpur Kheri case, in which 4 farmers were allegedly run over by Union Minister Ajay Mishra's son in October last year.
Their main demand is that farmers should be at least given this understanding that minimum support price will become a legal right, which means the government will accord a legal sanctity to the minimum support price that it announces every year for 23 crops, which means no one in the country, whether it's a private trade, whether it is a government agency or whether it is a procurement agency or whatever, is able to buy below that benchmark price that the government has fixed. Farmers all over the country feel that this is the ultimate as far as income security for the farmers is concerned. Biggest problem that we see in this particular debate is an educated India not even aware as to what crisis the farmers are living with. Only if you look into today's newspapers or yesterday's or day before, you will find in Madhya Pradesh, garlic farmers are throwing their produce into the river or are burning their produce. Why? Because they are not able to sell for even 1 rupee a kilo. Sabka saath, sabka vikas kaise hoga? It can only happen if you provide that income support to the majority population that is in the country today, and that is agriculture. Somebody had flagged off 17 lakh crore rupees ka additional kharcha hoga, all bunkum. Studies by PAU shows that if at all the government has to procure it, the total expenditure would not be more than 1.5 lakh crore. Studies by the former chairman of the Karnataka Agriculture Prices Commission says that the total burden will not exceed 2 lakh crore. In my understanding, even that will not happen.
Even as farmers protested, the high-powered panel constituted by the government on MSP following the repeal of the farm laws created 4 subgroups to take up various issues in its first meeting on Monday. 3 of the committee's 26 membership slots were kept aside for Samyukt Kisan Morcha, which rejected this panel and decided not to nominate its representatives. Now the question remains, will the latest protests snowball into something bigger along the lines of the opposition seen in the case of the farm laws?
It was always known that if the government goes on differing on the issue of minimum support price, this will snowball into a bigger movement. And I think we are aware that the protest that we saw yesterday is just the beginning. And there is a kind of effort going on across the country where farmer leaders, what I see from news reports, they have been going, meeting people. And I think there is a build-up happening. People do realize now that they have been shortchanged all these years. I'm talking about farmers. In 2016, the economic survey tells us that the average income of farmers in 17 states of India, which roughly means half the country, their income is only 20,000 rupees a year. Imagine how do these people survive in 20,000 rupees a year? The reform that agriculture is looking forward to is that, we must make a minimum support price a legal right across the spectrum.
The larger message here is that the trust deficit between the government and a significant section of farmers that blew up during the farm laws protest is well and alive. Left unaddressed, Not only will it have political implications, but also ensure the absence of a buy-in from a large number of Indians for any major reforms that the government may attempt.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.